Hey, can you open the door? Oh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do I look here?
Or well, you can look at...
I was like, you were talking to me yesterday, and I was like, I don't know where I'm supposed to look.
I mean, wherever you want, but you can just talk to me if you want.
I'll just talk to you, yeah.
Whatever's
I was like looking at the camera, and I was like, I don't know whether I'm supposed to look at you or the camera.
I know. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Okay, so we are in Sarah's van, and, well, I want to show you guys real fast. See, everyone's gone. Everyone just left, and we're wrapping up, but I wanted to get the story that you told us today on video, because I don't know why, it felt pretty epic. Mm-hmm. So you hiked the AT. Yep,
2019.
Which we talked about in yesterday's video, but one of the things you didn't tell us yesterday that somehow just came out today is called the
24 Cube Challenge.
Okay.
So that's a challenge on the AT where you have to drink 24 beers in 24 hours and 24 miles. So I'd been looking for someone to do the challenge on the way up the trail because I'd heard of it, but I didn't know if I was like brave enough to do it. And then of course I got like a bit more confident on the way up the trail. And then I found catch up.
Well, first you said a bunch of people wouldn't do it with you.
I had a load of people like agree to it, and then they're like, no, you know, like just the day before or whatever, they're like, no, we're not doing that. We're like, we're scared. So, and I'm like, I'm scared too, but I just thought it would be a really fun challenge. So, yeah, we decided to do it 24 miles before Monson, before Shaw's Hostel. So we got them to shuttle us back.
So you got to Shaw's.
Yeah.
Which we were at right before the 100-mile wilderness, and you went back 24 miles to do the same 24 miles again.
Yes.
Just to do this.
Yeah, it wasn't like really, like, it didn't feel like a hike this time. It was more like just the challenge, you know, so it was like take a day, because I suppose on the way up the trail with Pennsylvania and the different mountainous areas, it just didn't seem suitable, especially like in the Whites. So we found this section and we were like, it's kind of flat, and there was some river crossings too, so we thought it'd be fun. And we did it. Yeah.
Okay, so you hiked back with 24 beers, but you said you guys dropped some off.
Yeah, we had a car, so we got like the car to drop some beers off at some logging roads and things. So we didn't carry 24, I think we carried 12, and then we planted some on the way up the trail as we were going along. We actually ran out at one point, we ran out of beer, which was pretty weird, but we were drinking light beer, so it wasn't like super strong ones, but it was still quite a challenge.
Yeah, so tell me about it. So you started at 11 a.m.?
So we were supposed to start at like 6 or 7 a.m. and the shuttle driver was like busy doing something else, so we decided to like have a few beers before we left. So I think we had like 4 or 5 beers at the hostel and in the shuttle on the way back. So when we started the challenge, it was like, right, it was like 11:30. And obviously the evenings were kind of dark as well, so we were kind of rushing along.
So you had 1 beer every hour?
No, we didn't really do it like that. We had like 6 beers, and then as we set off...
Oh, it just needs to be 24 in the entire 24-hour period?
Just 24.
Oh, it's not one every hour?
As long as you drink the 24 beers within 24 miles and within 24 hours.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you can like pound them at a certain point when you're feeling like it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So like if we were, you know, we would drink like maybe 2 or 3, and then we would continue on for a while. And then like, yeah, I think we can have another couple now. And then we kind of ran out, and we had like planted another 6, and we were like, okay. And it was kind of like trail magic the whole way up the trail that day. It was just like fighting trail magic every time. Have another beer. Because what do you want when you're hiking and you get trail magic? Is a cold beer. So it was just so much. It was my funnest day on the trail without a doubt. But we had quite a few difficulties as well along the way.
Tell me about a difficulty.
So we were dressed as pirates.
Side note.
Yeah, side note, we were dressed as pirates, and we had like eye patches on and cutlass swords and things.
Because 24 miles in a regular outfit wouldn't just be interesting enough.
No, it wouldn't. We decided to mix it up a bit, and the costumes were really uncomfortable. I mean, the eye patches we had on probably for about 2 hours, and I was like, I can't actually see on the trail with an eye patch on and drink beer at like 24 miles. And then we had like a few difficulties. Like a third of it we did in the dark because you know, we started so late, and so we'd like 2 river crossings. One of them was in the dark. And then we only had one of our headlamps broke, so Yeah, so I was doing the challenge with my now husband, by the way. So he had my head torch on, and we were walking along a lot of planks. There was a lot of water. There was a lot of like steep drops down the side as well. So I couldn't really see a lot. He was kind of holding his phone back when I was walking on the planks so that I could see.
Just to have the light. Just
to have light. And like, do you remember that section where there's the river crossings are you have to kind of hold onto ropes to go across? I got some pretty funny videos of, we were like, oh, we're so sober, this is so normal. And then you kind of look back at the videos and it's like, yeah, I've just drank 12 beers, 15, 20, And then by the time we finished, it was like, we were ready to be done. Like, we were ready to be done, but we held it together.
And he was, you said pirates, but did I hear the story right? He was wearing women's underwear?
Yes, so he was wearing...
Like only women's underwear?
Yeah, he got like a pair of really nasty women's underwear out of Dollar General. So like really cheap material, and they were kind of short. They were kind of like boy shorts, but obviously, he was getting chafing. So he decided that he would take the shorts off. So he's only got the top half of the pirate costume on. And then as I'm coming behind him, I kind of got used to just him being naked, but I kind of forgot, and I'm like doing videos of him, and he's like hiking across the river, and I'm doing videos, and I'm like, oh, I forgot that you've got no clothes on. And when we got to the very end of it, we had, I think it was a 2-mile walk to get back to Shaw's hostel. So we're walking along the road. He's like so badly chafed down below. He's like, I'm just going to hike like this. And so there's like a couple of cars coming along because it's quite late at night. And I shouted, I was like, get behind me, like hide yourself in behind me and no one will see that you're naked. And then he's like, we're dressed as pirates. Like, how are they not going to notice that I'm half naked? So we made it back to Shaw's. I think we did it in 11 and a half or 12 hours altogether. We got our 24 beers in each. So
it doesn't need to be 24 hours.
You've got 24 hours to complete it.
You've got 24 hours. Okay, I'm still understanding the rules here.
Yeah.
You've got 24 hours to do 24 miles and do 24 beers.
Yeah.
And you did it in halfway.
Yes.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That's quite the accomplishment.
It was. It was definitely, especially like Summit and Katahdin, when we came back down, I was like, we did it, we did the through hike. And I think I was almost more proud of the 24 Cape Challenge than I was of like 6 months hiking from Georgia to Maine. I was like almost more proud of it, because it was just a funny challenge. And I really didn't think I'd be able to do it because I've never drank 24 beers by myself in one sitting before. But I think because you're just on the move all the time and your metabolism, it really was.
And you said you didn't take food.
We took some snacks with us, but we really couldn't eat because your stomach is just full of beer. We really didn't eat that day, no. We just kept on hiking, and the next day was kind of a write-off. We didn't do much the next day. We just kind of like lay in the tent and looked at the roof of the tent and got people to bring us water and things, and that was it. And the day after that, we were back hiking again, so it was a lot of fun. I would not recommend it to anyone unless they really think of a really good area to do it. You got to have the right weather conditions, and don't pick like a really strong beer either.
Okay. And then costume-wise, any recommendations?
You got to go in costume.
It's got to be something Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with top and bottom, or?
I would generally recommend that unless it's hike naked day. So, but anything goes on the trail, so it doesn't really matter, especially when you've had a few beers, because you've got, people think they've got like an invisibility cloak and people don't notice them. So yeah, definitely go with the costume as well.
All right. I love that story. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's fun to hear it twice in one day. I feel like I'm getting more of the rules. I thought it was 24 miles and 24 beers in 24 hours. So it's like a mile an hour a beer. Yeah. But that wouldn't make a lot of sense, I guess. You'd be sitting around a lot.
Some people do that. Some people will pace themselves. Like they'll carry all the beers, or sometimes they'll plant it, but they will pace themselves at 1 mile. Do it over 24 hours. And then we thought, well, why do that? you know, it makes more sense, obviously, to get the beer out of your system. But we thought, well, I'm pretty sure we can chug a few, and, you know, because you're just like constantly just like pee every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And we weren't getting a lot of water in, but I really do think you're hydrated and you're getting your carbs, and, you know, it just helped.
It's pretty funny discussing what makes the most sense when we're talking about doing 24 beers in 24 hours for 24 miles in a pirate costume.
It does.
But sense does play into it somehow.
Yeah. And it was actually funny because I've got a photograph of Ketchup at Shaw's getting ready, you know, and he's like really structured, and he's like, okay, right, you know, did you take your electrolytes yesterday? Yeah. Did you have the snack? Did you eat your breakfast? Yeah, I ate my breakfast. Okay, so if we have like 2 beers now, and right, could you just drink a beer really quick here, and we'll just have another one? You know, and he's in a pirate costume, and he's like deadly serious about this challenge. I was like, how am I supposed to take this seriously here? He's like planning it, you know, but we did spend quite a few days planning it, so I think that helps as well. I know there's a few people that did it on the trail, or that attempted it on the trail, and they didn't complete it.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
I feel like if I set out to do it, I would want to succeed at it, even though it's a silly thing.
Even though it's a silly thing.
I wouldn't want to, I would feel like a double failure, I think.
Yeah, because it is a challenge.
It is a challenge.
You want to finish it, but I think a lot of people went out and did it and just got like wasted the night before, and then got up and did.
So you need there's a certain degree of preparation and training.
We really hydrated the day before. We had our electrolytes in us. We ate really well the day before.
Yeah.
And we would have like, instead of going like teetotal, you know, for like a week before, we were like, no, we're not, because we need to build up some kind of a resistance.
Build
like,
tolerance.
We'll have 3 beers tonight, we'll have 2 beers the next night, we'll have 4 beers the next night, and it just worked. You know, because I feel if you like didn't drink for like a month and then you went and drank 24 beers, you would probably die. So.
I think that's where I would be.
Yeah. So it worked out pretty well.
Well, this could end up being one of the biggest YouTube videos that offers people advice on how to succeed at this type of challenge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of course, in case YouTube demonetizes us, we're talking about non-alcoholic beer, right?
We're talking about non-alcoholic beer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You can totally do this challenge on soft drinks. Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else that you could think of to someone who's aspiring to be to this level of accomplishment in their life?
24 cubed. I would just say that just go and have fun, but plan it. Pick somewhere flat. Pick somewhere like relatively flat.
And 2 river crossings are okay, but
2 river crossings were fun, but just don't get wasted when you're on the trail. You know, like save yourself until the last few miles, and then you can do what you want because you're on the home stretch.
Yeah.
Don't get wasted.
All right.
Don't get wasted, kids.
All right.
I feel like I'm giving the worst advice ever to everybody.
All right, and you've been the person that's basically been my kid's primary caretaker all day.
Yes, I have. We're not going to tell him about the 24 cubes.
Yeah, and I'm sure he won't discover this video. All right, well, thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you.
All right, I'm going to let myself out of the bus now, past the cat litter box. Oh, I forgot to say, these people here, one of the things I said to you earlier is you guys let your cat out in the day, and then it went around and it left, and we haven't been able to find it all day.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to come back. But if it doesn't come back, you're going to wait here?
We're going to wait here. He comes back eventually. If there's like noise during the day, he does his own thing, and then he comes back to the bus, always at night. He'll come back when he's hungry.
And I told them, you're kind of my heroes, because the fact that you schedule your life around your cat's schedule.
Oh, absolutely.
I've never met anyone that does that.
I know, we're like helicopter parents. Yeah.
And it sounds pretty like a pretty relaxed way to live your life if you're scheduling your life around when your cat decides to come back.
Then you've got nothing really to worry about, do you?
I guess not.
You're just worried about a cat, that's okay.
All right. Thank you for sharing.
Okay,
I am
no problem.
leaving the bus. Meeting people like that is incredible, and one of the reasons why we do this out on the trail.
For 5 months, our family walked 13 miles every day.
We became the largest family to complete the Appalachian Trail.
We encountered snowstorms, overflowing rivers, rattlesnakes, and the government threatening to take away our kids.
And that was the easy part.
2 2,000 miles together, the story of the largest family to hike the Appalachian Trail is available on Amazon and all major online retailers.